Welcome back. I'm Stacey Earthley. The Statesmen just falling a point short of Division I FCS opponent Northwestern State on the final play of the game, but that drops them 9 places in the AFCA coaches poll from number 2 to number 11. GSC opponent North Alabama now ranked ahead of the Statesmen at number 5. Well, to Valley, where the Delta Devils open this weekend at home, but not getting the start they'd hoped for. Despite a winless season last year, the Devils were the top team in limiting turnovers and forcing opponents on their turnovers. However, Saturday against Alabama State, Valley turned the ball over 7 times and did not force a single Hornet turnover. Coach Morgan eyeing this as a major part of the game, but assuring everyone that the belief is still there.
That's something we got to work on as far as ball security. Also, we got to take the ball away. You know, that was the best thing we did last year. I think we led the conference in turnover margin. So that's something we got to harp on. We've talked about it, but we hadn't really stressed it enough, obviously, because of Saturday's results. We just got to be able to manufacture points. Like I said, it was a positive to get the ball moving. Last year, the first game of the season, we didn't move the ball that well at all. So there's a lot of positives from Saturday. I think it's still frustrating that we didn't win, but I think there's a lot of things to build off of.
Now, Morgan did call out signal caller Garrett Jenkins as the player he was pleased with, but getting better understanding of the offense still needs work after multiple delay of game and formation penalties. The Devils do get another shot in front of their home crowd Saturday, taking on Murray State at 4 p.m. Well, Ole Miss coming up short over the weekend as well in their home opener to BYU with a loss in the books, not only the loss suffered over the weekend. Houston Nutt today clearing up many of the questions that needed to be answered over the weekend. First, the injury to leading back Brandon Bolden, leaving the game in the second half due to an ankle injury. Following this morning's MRI, Nutt announcing that he does have a slight fracture in his ankle. They will not put a cast on it. However, he will be in a walking boot for a couple of weeks, and it's time for some young guys to start stepping up.
Right now, boy, they took a real hit there at the tailback spot. So Jeff Scott has got to get ready to go. I mentioned to you yesterday, we talked about it really hard. So right now we have Jeff Scott, Devin Thomas, and then we'll probably move Corbett Neat back from receiver slot back to the tailback, and then we're working tomorrow. We'll work a little bit of Chief Brown and Cody Pruitt as well. So we've got to get a couple more guys in there ready to go because you're so thin.
Nutt also adding that Zach Stout has been named the starter against Southern Illinois. Nutt also asked about Carlos Thompson today in the presser, responding that he has been hurt a bit but kept his weight on over the summer as around 250 pounds. And that will help him out at the end position, and he will get back into the rotation this week. We're heading out to Starkville, the Bulldogs getting a rest on Saturday after beating up on Memphis on Thursday night opener. Despite that 59-14 beating over Memphis and setting new school records for the widest win margin, the 20th ranked Bulldogs not happy with the way they played, and that's something that Coach Mullen is liking about this team.
Yeah, I think, the one thing I did learn out of that game with our team, I think we have high expectations of ourselves. I think even looking at the team, you talk to guys and you look on offense and they're not patting themselves on the back, as we said, the school records or anything. And their mind is, how can we be better? How can we execute at a higher level? How can we be cleaner and more efficient? I think we had 4 3-and-outs in that game. How can we not go 3-and-out? How do we control the ball and get first down? So, when you look offensively, that's it. Defensively, the same way. I think defensively there's some young kids that are relieved they got to play a game. And there's some older guys that now are going to hold them even more accountable because we didn't play good enough on defense. We gave up way too many yards, didn't cause enough 3-and-outs, gave up a couple long drives. They got in the red zone twice and scored twice. And those are things that the older guys are going to really jump on the younger guys that aren't acceptable with our defense.
Now the Bulldogs turn their attention to the Auburn Tigers this Saturday for an early kick, 11:21, airing on the SEC Network. Well, to the NFL, where the Saints open their season with a worthy opponent and reigning champs, the Green Bay Packers, this Thursday. And with Coach Sean Payton signing a new 5-year deal with the organization, he is now focused on a defense that won the Packers the Super Bowl.
Both defenses heading into this game are very confident and have played very well. I said yesterday when you look at the Super Bowl winner A lot is made oftentimes of the offense, and then when you study closely, statistically, what Green Bay's been able to accomplish defensively, it's been outstanding. And when we put the tape on, you see that. So that being said, they get a lot of different looks, I'm sure, from their offense. No huddle. They get quick count. They get spread sets, oddball sets that certainly would make it a similar type of attack that they would face, and vice versa.